Did you think Costa Rica was just blue seas and rainforests? Wait until you see drivers legally sipping beer behind the wheel. No human hotels that only welcome monkeys, or a full Boeing 77 hanging in the treetops as a $1 million villa, volcanic ash covering the airport, toilet paper going into a trash can, and police ready to wave you over just to check your passport, ready to discover the 15 beautiful but bizarre rules of the Pura Vida paradise. No street addresses. You heard that right. Can you imagine living somewhere with no house numbers, no street names, and even Google Maps gives up? That's life in Costa Rica. Most of Costa Rica has no street names or house numbers. Aside from the capital San Jose and a few downtown areas that have started putting up street signs, most of the country still uses a quirky navigation system, 100 meters southwest of the main church.
15 mind-blowing facts about Costa Rica and unique taboos that will shock you. Travel documentary. Welcome to UKVibeReacts, where we uncover the world's most jaw-dropping cultures, customs, and curiosities. In today's travel documentary, we're diving deep into one of the most breathtaking and surprising countries in Central America, Costa Rica. But this isn't your average travel video filled with beach shots and jungle trails. No, this is something far more intriguing. This is about facts about Costa Rica that most travel brochures won't tell you. And even more shockingly, taboos in Costa Rica that can get you raised eyebrows, awkward silence, or even serious trouble if you're not careful. Whether you're planning a trip or just love to discover countries through their quirks, this country documentary will change the way you see the land of Pura Vida. What are the important facts about Costa Rica?
Street signs. Most of the country still uses a quirky navigation system, 100 meters southwest of the main church, across from the orange auto shop next to Mrs. Marta's house with the red gate. Sounds like an IQ riddle. Here, that's a legal address. In a society where even Google Maps doesn't trust itself, churches become the national compass. As a deeply Catholic country, Costa Rica has more than 20 churches, and most are built facing west. So people praying are facing east toward Jerusalem. So if you get lost, the advice isn't turn on your GPS, but find the nearest church, turn your back to it, and walk the other way. Trust me, it works. Although the government started a campaign to name streets in 2012, for tourists and modern delivery systems, only about 30% of neighborhoods have official names and numbers. Why? The cost is too high. If you get lost, try to find a church to get your bearings. Costa Rica is a Catholic country with plenty of churches and most face west. If the door you're looking for is painted a different color or the landmark tree is gone, friendly locals are used to these hits. They're way too close to these historic references and can point you in the right direction. 14. Public nudity is allowed. In a country where church bells still ring every Sunday morning and elders address each other with formal titles like Doña or Señor, you'd think everything is strict and conservative. Yet in Costa Rica, where over 70% of the population is Catholic, there's an interesting paradox. Locals quietly accept. Yet they're not really bothered about the way that has changed. They're not bothered by the way that people are treated. They're more interested in of international tourists embracing a body liberation lifestyle on beaches like Santa Teresa, Tamarindo, or Nosara. Hundreds of tourists from the United States, Canada, Germany, and the Netherlands sunbathe their way tiny bikinis, and some go almost fully nude. No nails, no hateful stares, and definitely no police showing up to lecture. You note everyone agrees, but hardly anyone objects, for Costa Ricans' respect isn't about what you wear, it's about how you behave. They believe in harmony. If someone feels comfortable and isn't hurting anyone, there's no reason to disturb the peace. Number 13, airplane hotels in the jungle. Think planes are just for flying in Costa Rica. They turned a 1965 Boeing 727 into a villa hanging in the rainforest. Guests line up nearly a year in advance to sleep there. Located at Costa Rica Resort near Manuel Antonio National Park, one of Central America's most biodiverse spots, this old plane once belonged to South Africa, Arandavianca, Colombia, instead of being scrapped. It was rescued and reborn in a way. Noon expected the Boeing sits on a concrete platform nearly 50 feet high, parked forever among thick trees from a distance. It looks like it just crash landed in the jungle, but step inside and you'll be amazed. Teak wood interiors, 2 air-conditioned bedrooms, a stone-tiled bathroom, and a cockpit balcony where you can sip cocktails while watching white-faced monkeys swing below the sound of waves, toucans calling in the morning and sunlight streaming through round windows, all create a weird but magical experience like you just crash landed in paradise. Bonus, not traffic jams or flight delays, but don't forget rooms run $300 to $500 per night, depending on season, and it's always booked out. This is one of the most Instagrammed villas in Costa Rica. Number 12. Senior share lives surprisingly long lives when it comes to the happiest country in the world. Few think of a small Central American nation with no military, no skyscrapers, and Nagidi far from the top. Yet Costa Rica topped the Happy Planet Index twice in the last decade, and Costa Rica is one of the most popular cities in the world, twice in 2009 and 2012, and ranked 12th in the 2019 World Happiness Report. Why is a not so rich country so happy? The answer lies in the simple but profound philosophy, pura vida, pure life. It's not just a greeting, but a way of life, knowing enough, living, slowly loving nature, and respecting the community. Costa Ricans value mental health over material wealth. They spend time with family, nature, and enjoy evenings on the porch instead of spending time with family, instead of working overtime. The government invests heavily in healthcare and education, instead of the military helping the average lifespan reach about 81 years. The highest in Central America, especially the Nicoya Peninsula on Costa Rica's west coast, is considered one of the world's 5 blue zones, where people of 10 live past 100 without chronic diseases. They eat home-grown foods, beans, corn, vegetables, tropical fruits. They drink well water rich in calcium and magnesium and vitamin. Magnesium do manual liberdaily wake up early, gotta be dearly, and live close-knit in their community. Noon is left alone in old age. Number 11, America's #1 retirement paradise. Think Florida is the ideal place to retire, maybe 20 years ago. Now Americans are leaving Miami for Costa Rica, a small Central American country, nicknamed the Switzerland of the Americas for its safety, neutrality, and incredible happiness. On the 2025 Global Retirement Index by International Living, Costa Rica unexpectedly beat out Mexico, Portugal, and Thailand for the top spot. Its appeal, the unbeatable combo: tropical nature, universal healthcare, low living costs, and shockingly kind people. $1,900 to $2,500 per month, including rent, food, health insurance, and entertainment. Compare that to the average UDOT's retirement cost of nearly $4,300 per month. UDOT's Bureau of Labor Statistics, a nearly 50% difference. Even more shocking, you can rent 2-bedroom villa 5 minutes from the beach for just $700 per month. In places like Hoyochel or Tamarin, do beyond money, what makes Americans love either as the slow, genuine, and incredibly friendly Costa Rican lifestyle. You can ask neighbors to water your plants, feed your cat, water your plants, or watch your house while you travel for a week. No security cameras needed. Healthcare-wise, Costa Rica has a universal system that's cheap but reliable, and heart disease. According to WHO, Costa Rica has the highest average life expectancy in Central America at 81.2 years, on par with Switzerland. Not just for retirees, Costa Rica is also a remote work haven. The digital nomad visa, introduced in 2021, lets you live legally for up to 12 months, renewable for another year tax-free.